Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is Concept Pending, the Heroes and Villains podcast, where we discuss goofy, nerdy stuff we're all into and how we do what we do, why we do what we do. Today, we're going to be kind of talking about the MCU, what they've got coming up, and then we're going to kind of, dive a little bit deeper into espionage and kind of that world of international intrigue that is probably best summed up by the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. So today I've got Mason again with us, and we got Kirk for the first time.
Hey, everybody.
Up from the sales department. Don't tell anyone. We'll let you out. So
sometimes I get to leave my cubicle.
Well, so yeah.
The MCU.
Yeah, MCU. What do we got coming up in the next year or so?
So I know that like the most upcoming would be in July, which is it's July. It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is like the most upcoming one.
And that actually is MCU because it's the first time that it's kind of crossing over.
Yep.
Tying it all in.
Yeah, since they acquired Fox a few years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the first MCU project in a minute that I've been kind of stoked for.
Mm-hmm.
So when Endgame came out, I walked out of the theater and I went, that was probably the best conclusion to anything I'm ever going to get. And that sounds kind of weird, but like I walked out and I said, if anything that comes out Marvel isn't up to what we just watched, that's fine. I got my Star Wars. I'm good. Like I can go back and watch phases 1 through 3 and have a great time. And everything else that can come out, it can be whatever quality. I'll probably still watch it, but I'm good. They nailed it. They, like all of that. And so like with these upcoming projects, like this Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm just excited to see Hugh Jackman back. He is Wolverine. He is Wolverine. Like he's done great. I do think that like they messed up by getting a really tall guy to play Wolverine because the dude's supposed to be 4'5", whatever. But have you
heard about any of the fan casts for Wolverine when they finally do start doing their own Marvel?
I've heard a few things, and honestly, Daniel Radcliffe
is like the best, right,
brother?
Well, and he's in this.
What?
I have
Daniel Radcliffe is in Deadpool and Wolverine.
I have heard that rumor too that he may appear as a multi.
I haven't heard.
Wolverine.
Yeah, no, he's in it. He's
Wow.
But I didn't want it confirmed.
My bad. He's in it though.
No, it's all good. Like I said, this is the first project in a minute I've been like super stoked for.
Are you not watching the trailers?
I've watched.
Oh my god! What?
You know what? I was told that it would be cool to say that on this podcast.
It is cool. I mean, you still catch some crap for it. But
we're also about to give all the spoilers through the trailer.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. I know. Well, I do know that the villain got revealed, and it was Nova. I can't remember the second half of her name. The bald lady who kind of reminds me of the Doctor Strange character.
Well, I mean, she's Charles Xavier's sister, isn't she?
Right.
Yeah.
She's the one that in the comics they had
I can't remember.
Is Nova something? And I'm blanking off the top of my head. They had a fight in the womb. I don't know if you've ever seen those panels.
Oh my gosh.
Charles uppercutting. It's like craziness. But I am very excited for this upcoming.
Only in comics.
Only in comics, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm also of the opinion if someone were to tell me it's like this happened in this comic, I'm 100%. I was like, okay, I believe you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Wolverine did do a surfboard trick and launched over Sabretooth and killed somebody with the surfboard. That definitely happened.
Well, and we're getting the full remastered battle between Sabretooth and Wolverine.
I saw that he's back too.
Yeah. That's going to be wild. I don't know. I like the way that they're doing this Deadpool because it's all dealing with the time variance authority again with Loki. And I loved how Loki brought in all the different versions of Loki. And then we just get random characters appearing in that show as well. And I think that that's what's going to be really cool about this movie because, I mean, the rumored cast and the rumored the rumor mill around who all has been seen filming, who all has been seen about is crazy because there's talks that the entire original cast of X-Men is in it. There's talks that Elektra, Jennifer Garner is in it, which is wild. That is a wild pull that I didn't expect.
I am here for it.
As well as Ben Affleck as Daredevil, which I'm kind of do we need that?
I'm less here than for
I'm much less here.
Just put the new Daredevil in.
Agreed. And I mean, I just feel like it's going to be a stacked cast and it's going to be insane. And I feel like everyone's going to die for sure.
Oh,
I think so.
Like the majority.
they may do like what was it? Deadpool 2 with the X-Force and kill him in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Well,
great.
no, I feel like that is what we are bound to get.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And like from like,
Actually, I could see them doing that in the first 5 minutes because they went through all the people they're trying to use before they have to resort to Deadpool.
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that lead. That's a great, like, because that's exactly what Deadpool is. Like, the one, because, like, remember Deadpool 2 when they show up to the mansion and then Cyclops slowly closes the doors and it's because they don't want to deal with him.
No.
And Wolverine's the only one who's going to put up with him because he's put up with the worst things in history. So, like,
Well, and like this Wolverine, apparently, like the way like the trailer talks about this Wolverine is it says that this Wolverine let down his entire world and they all died.
Right.
So like which Wolverine are we getting? From what comic, what storyline are we getting with this Wolverine?
Is it just sad boy Wolverine?
I mean, he seems very angsty. I will say that.
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as an angst-free Wolverine.
Honestly, straight up. I mean, all he does is grunt.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just excited because like I feel like their dynamic, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's dynamic, is just going to be off the charts.
Oh yeah,
and they're just hilarious already on their own.
Yeah,
and you combine their like shady, sassy dramaticness, and it's going to just be crazy. And I feel like they ad-libbed. There's no like I feel like they had to have ad-libbed left and right in this movie. Like, there's probably no way. Knowing Ryan Reynolds, there's no way they didn't ad-lib in this.
Have you seen the footage of him ad-libbing stuff for Blade Trinity?
No. Oh my God.
So one of the problems with Blade Trinity was apparently Wesley Snipes was being the worst, right? He refused to come to set for a lot of things. And so there's footage of Ryan Reynolds recording multiple takes for things, pretending to be talking to Wesley Snipes because Wesley Snipes is not there.
I always forget that he was in that. Ryan Reynolds was in that in the first place.
My friends and I used to refer to it as the Ryan Reynolds show because he was the best thing about the movie.
He wasn't in the first two. He was only in the third one.
No, because that was like his beginning, wasn't it?
Well, in the movies, yeah. He was in, was it Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place? Was that the name of it? And then he was a child star in Canada.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that.
It was a sitcom that I never watched because why would you?
Yeah, I mean, how many early filmographies can you name of any actor?
And actually, if you want to talk about movie starts, Van Wilder was probably
true. Yeah. Van Wilder was probably his like start in America, and then followed by the one that's with Chris Pratt's ex-wife, and oh my gosh, where he's fat and then he gets thin and comes back.
Was it Just Friends?
Yes, that one. I feel like everyone loves that one.
And then he did what was the one with Sandra Bullock? Where
the best movie,
The Proposal. Was that it?
The Proposal is one of the best.
Yep. You see that he also had a cameo in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
True, he did. Which I don't think that really did anything for his career. Probably
no, probably didn't. Heard it.
Well, no,
but I gotta say, I got a soft spot in my heart for that movie. It's ridiculous. I'm not like a stoner or anything. It's just funny's funny.
True.
You gotta.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I think the Daniel Radcliffe casting is hilarious, and he's supposed to be like, from what it seems, he's supposed to be like the more like,
comic accurate.
Yes, but more so the way that I think that they're supposedly depicting him from what the trailer makes it seem like, which one it is he's kind of like the dapper James Bond.
Oh, he's going to be Diamondback.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who he is.
That's awesome.
And so like they show his back at a gambling casino table, and it's like all.
And he turns around and he's got
and it's him, and you can tell that it's Wolverine by the hair, but you're kind of like, this guy is a lot tinier than Hugh Jackman,
and that's
it's his body. Like you can I, in my soul, know that that's Daniel Radcliffe. It could, be, but I feel like it is.
We've also heard Taron Egerton.
And
he's about the same size.
I want Taron Egerton to just be him for the reboot.
Taron Egerton in the reboot, or
yeah, Taron Egerton in the reboot.
Well, so I think
I
this should
love
be-
him.
I think this movie needs to be almost an audition for either
Okay,
of
fine,
those
true,
actors. So like you put Daniel Radcliffe and you put Taron Egerton up there as Wolverine.
Taron Egerton. Well, let's be real.
put him in a cage.
You don't know that.
I
yet.
love.
I don't know, man. I feel like
gonna win.
All I think of when someone says Daniel Radcliffe Wolverine is that picture on the internet of him with the guns taped into his hands. I can't remember what movie it's
Guns
from.
Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo. That's right. Literally, and so like. That's all I think of. It's like, oh, that guy should play Wolverine.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this one picture. This sells it for me.
I agree. I feel like from like an acting chop standpoint, no offense to Daniel Radcliffe, I think he is
I'm
talented.
offended for him.
But like Taron Egerton's like breadth of acting roles is like wild.
I mean, no, Daniel Radcliffe has gone out of his way. Tell me, let's be fair. He's, done quite a bit of work on Broadway and in live theater.
Yeah.
And
He gets a lot of small, kooky roles. that
Yeah,
are
like the
great.
Miracle Workers.
yeah.
Exactly.
Weird.
Well, he doesn't
but
have to,
works.
he doesn't need money, so he goes for
No.
stuff he wants to.
And like, honestly, that's it. And I'm really glad that he is able to step out of from what he used.
100%.
He's no longer Harry Potter. No one thinks of. Well, people do think of him as Harry Potter. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like Daniel Radcliffe has made a name for himself outside of his original character.
Yeah.
And that is. I'm
And it's
so
kind of like,
excited for him.
it's unfortunate because like Rupert Grint kind of just like vanished into
Poor guy.
like
Yeah.
nothing.
That dude, do you know what he's doing?
He has an ice cream truck.
Yeah,
which is
'cause he-
unfortunate.
No, he does. He did it on purpose. He's like, he's rich. And so he doesn't
just-
really make money on it. He just does it for fun. He still takes roles. He's, huh?
Kind of creepy.
Oh,
It is kind of creepy.
I don't know,
Grown
man.
man that just chooses to drive an ice cream truck around. Kind of creepy. But I love him, but kind of creepy.
I mean, it's
creepy.
And so Daniel Radcliffe, it does
Yes,
remind me.
And if I were sold ice cream by Ron Weasley, I'd be okay with it.
True.
I just did the same thing that Daniel Radcliffe doesn't want done to himself. I just referred to people as their own character.
That's fair.
But he, yeah. Like,
I mean, when
of
you
the
get
two
that
actors-
famous, you kind of become a character in public,
Yeah.
right?
True.
Which, Daniel Radcliffe, I have a pitch for a movie. Okay, so this is my pitch, internet, for a movie.
Copyrighted.
So we know that the internet, makes a lot about how Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood get confused,
Accurate.
right? So here's what you do. It's a movie about clones, right? So Daniel Radcliffe plays a researcher who's been working on a cloning technology, right? And he's been up all night or something, and he's exhausted, and he accidentally cuts himself, and some of it drips on whatever he's working on it. But he goes, fixes his hand, and falls asleep.
Oh, when Elijah
Wakes
Wood's
up,
like,
Elijah
mad.
Wood's on his chest like, hi. And like the whole movie is this
Elijah Wood
screwed
would
up
do that.
Daniel Radcliffe clone that nobody can tell apart from him. But he's like, we're not the same person.
Yeah.
But everyone's like,
That's what they say. These are the corporate says these are the
Yeah.
find the differences.
exactly,
These are
exactly.
the same picture.
And it's just this clone ruining his life and slowly taking his place, and
That is funny.
a horror comedy.
Oh, that's very both their cinematography background. That would work.
Absolutely.
I'm excited because Channing Tatum's coming back.
As Gambit, yeah,
Yes.
that's gonna be hilarious.
Ridiculous.
Channing Tatum has turned into a hell of a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He never played Gambit, but he was going to. He was
Oh,
up
okay.
for
I
it
was just
for
saying the
a
guy
long
who played
time.
him in that really bad Origins movie. That wasn't.
No, that was Taylor, whatever, who was in John Carter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna admit something to the internet. I like that movie way too much.
What?
John Carter?
I love John Carter.
No.
Oh.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I love John Carter.
John Carter.
I remember seeing that movie in theater. I haven't seen it.
Have you read any of the source material for that?
I have not, but I have heard it's very,
You,
very, very
you
good.
are a bad nerd.
I know. I'm
Okay,
joking.
I mean, I'm just saying. Here's homework. Get on it.
Okay, I'm on it.
John Carter of Mars.
It was their initial attempt at doing Star Wars, wasn't it?
No. No. John Carter Mars was written by Edgar Rice Burroughs, same guy who did Tarzan. It was actually his first book that he wrote. I think he was in advertising at the time, and he was reading what people were putting out. He's like, I can do that. And if you read the first novel, it is 100% he is making it up as it goes along. It is not structured like a novel in the sense that this makes sense. Here, it's just this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. But it's awesome. It's so good.
So it's like an anthology almost, where like
No, it is a single narrative. But I mean, it is, yeah. You got to, it's hard to explain, I guess.
I love the movie.
I love the movie too.
when did they did a remake of it?
Of John Carter of Mars?
Not recently. Not
No, it was like
No, that was the first live action version and the only one
that.
I'm aware
Okay, so
of.
there hadn't been a movie prior to that one that came.
There's an Asylum version of John Carter of Mars.
That doesn't count.
No, of course not. Because I mean, it's public domain, so anybody could do that. Hollywood, but it starred, what was it, Antonio Sabato Jr. and I cannot remember her name all of a sudden. Yeah. Porn star who was in Blade at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
What's her name?
I have no idea.
I think if you are able to name porn stars off the top of your head,
She was also in Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Elizabeth Banks?
No, what?
Okay.
No.
Like, I don't think she actually did porn. That's just Elizabeth Banks.
I loved her in Happy Gilmore.
There. Tracy Lord. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no
Man,
idea.
you just,
It took a minute. I had to start thinking about something
man,
else.
Still impressive. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I do need to get around to John Carpenter. I just remember seeing like that's where that's because like it looks like the way I remember like the posters and stuff make it look like it's almost old timey, but then it's all sci-fi, right? Like it's
Well, it is old
almost
time.
primal.
He's from like old time.
Yeah, he's a Civil War veteran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Former Confederate soldier. They don't really touch on that in the movie much.
Sure.
Yeah. No, they should not.
Maybe just retroactively make him a Union soldier.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
But anyway, so we have Deadpool Wolverine coming out. And then after Deadpool and Wolverine, I think the next thing is Agatha All Along this fall.
Right.
What are your feelings?
So okay. All right.
If you shit on this, I'm going to be so angry.
I don't have anything to. No, I mean, there's nothing. It's just it feels like it came out of. Marvel was not expecting everyone to like Agatha's character so much, so they immediately greenlit the show when the show came out.
And it feels like they don't know what to do with it.
Well, I disagree with you.
They keep like changing the name and it's getting delayed.
No, I think
they reshoots.
I kind of feel like they're changing the name purposefully.
Because
I think that they're doing it purposefully because they themselves launched a video where it started out with the original title and then it changed titles up until Agatha All Along. It was like they did it on purpose. Because
or it's lemonade out of lemons.
True. And I mean, if it is genius
bravo.
marketing, brilliant marketing, Marvel, you're on one this time.
To be clear, I'm not against it. I'm going to watch it probably, but like I am.
I just feel like this one's for the gays. Like, for sure.
Okay.
Agatha All Along is here for the gays. This is what it was made for. The rumor is that it's going to be a musical all the way through, which I am here for.
You know,
Marvel's Hocus Pocus, basically.
Oh my God.
I feel like musicals are like fine art and slam poetry. If it's good, it's really good. If it's not, it hurts.
I just really, really love the cast of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really love who they've casted across the board. Like, we have Aubrey Plaza, crazy. Like, she will be great.
Mm-hmm. She's always great.
Well, and she has her own like book about a witch, like her Christmas witch book that she like goes on like national talk shows and like portrays the Christmas witch. Like, she is crazy.
That's awesome.
And she is meant to play a witch, and she's finally getting to play a witch. Then we have Catherine Hahn, obviously just an icon, perfect, amazing. We have a son, which we have a boy, which I'm not sure exactly if this is supposed to be a Scarlet Witch's child or not. Like, I think it's supposed to be.
Oh, is it maybe Wiccan?
I think it's supposed to be Wiccan from some universe, and it's one of the kids from Heartstoppers on Netflix, which is like a gay.
My wife loves that show.
It's amazing.
It's really good. Oh, it's great.
It's like a gay or an LGBTQ. What kind of book would you say? Graphic novel.
It was a webcomic at first.
No, it's a graphic novel. Like, it's like full print, and that's what it started with. Like, full print, turned into a live action show.
Okay.
Incredible. he's on it. His name on on Heartstoppers was Charlie. I can't remember his name in real life though, which is bad. And then like from like a musical Broadway standpoint, they have
Patti LuPone?
yeah, they have Patti LuPone.
I don't know where
No, Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle?
No, Patti LuPone. You're right.
Yeah.
And
Patti LaBelle's
she-
not generally known
no,
for Broadway.
No,
Yeah.
Patti LuPone. And she is like Broadway icon. She is going to be like, she is such a character actress. She is going to be a witch. It's going to be perfect. She's amazing. And then I just feel like it's going to be like witchy and spooky and like funny, but dark, like real dark comedy, kind of like how it was when she was like killing dogs and
Yeah, when it revealed her.
yeah, like it's going to be that, and like her like talking about her horrible husband and all that stuff. Like I just feel like it's going to be hilarious.
Favorite movie musical? Because I definitely have one. It opened you this much. Kirk?
Favorite movie musical, man. Oof. No, I don't have an answer on the top of my
I
head.
really love Les Mis, to be honest.
Mine is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Oh, that is a good movie,
And it's...
but it's a problematic
Oh
story.
my God, it is. It so
Very
is.
problematic.
Right? So after Agatha all along.
Yeah, you keep derailing us, you two.
What?
God.
It's, you
I've been
know,
trying to talk about Wolverine this whole time.
Is that-
I don't understand what you're talking about.
is there a, clown movie coming from Marvel anytime?
Probably
no?
not.
No?
No.
Okay.
They are rebooting Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my god.
I mean, that like, when are we going to get a slapstick movie?
We need one.
I mean, I feel like that
Right?
might be Agatha.
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
No, I mean, slapstick is a character from Marvel.
Oh,
He's a living
oh.
cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Okay.
that.
Well, we already got Deadpool. I don't know if we can we can deal with.
This would be like the dude running circles around Deadpool, like
Right.
Bugs Bunny. Two Bugs Bunnies, though. That gets like
a
Deadpool.
Roger Rabbit Marvel movie,
Mm.
a fully animated
yeah.
protagonist with everyone else being live action.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be something
pretty
there.
great.
Honestly, Roger Rabbit's was a great film.
I wouldn't
and-
be shocked by that. I could see that. Well, I mean, I feel like that kind of goes into.
But if Deadpool's
I mean,
there,
if you
one of
think-
them has to be Daffy
Well, but if
Duck.
you think about like the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, all those movies,
Uh-huh.
like there's all the different versions of the Spider-Man, and there were some that were like supposed to be animated.
You think we're going to get an animated Deadpool in the movie?
I hope so. I mean, we're getting Dogpool.
It's true. It's true.
And he's
Yeah, I've heard Taylor Swift is in it as Dazzler, maybe. But she's
Well,
denied it. Which
Well, and then there's also supposed to be Lady Deadpool, who I can't remember who they said was playing her, but there's some. Oh no, it's Blake Lively is playing her, which is
hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's right.
Because obviously,
I hope she does a Ryan Reynolds impression the whole time.
I do too.
Yeah,
because
No,
I'm
she
sure
needs
she
to-
could do it well at this
gosh.
point. But honestly, after Agatha, the only thing I can really think of that they've like for sure greenlit and like we know of, there's two, I guess, would be the Thunderbolts as well as Fantastic Four.
Yeah, which I'm
very
On
pumped
board
for
for.
Fantastic Four.
yeah.
and I
People are
am
mad about Pedro Pascal being casted, and people need to shut up. Pedro Pascal was an icon, and we are lucky.
As to play devil's advocate on Pedro, it felt like the second they announced it, it felt like, oh, okay, we've got him in Mandalorian, we've got him in The Last of Us, he's great, everyone loves him, put him in Fantastic Four.
I think he's perfect.
well, but also they know they
But-
can work with him.
But everyone else around the cast, like Richie from The Bear, who's playing the Thing, and
Eben Moss Bacharach, is that
yeah,
right? Yeah.
man, you nailed that. Yeah, honestly, I can't ever remember his name.
Never been able
No,
to say
that's
that.
but then
Vanessa
that's it.
Kirby is playing Sue Storm
I don't know if I
and
care about
Joseph
that.
Quinn.
I love him.
So,
my God.
Every time any of those people have talked about what they're doing for their roles, I'm like, okay, all right, Pedro's fine. Like, if he's doing the research, like all these other people are doing the research,
well, you know Pedro's doing the research. Pedro
Yeah.
is a method actor.
Have you heard about how he memorizes his lines?
No.
I was watching his video and he's talking with these other actors. He's explaining how he does it, and they are all just like, because it's completely mental, they think, right?
I mean-
Because what he does is he like reads his lines and then writes out a sheet of paper with like the first letter
oh, I love doing that.
of each like
Oh my god.
word or line. So what that's called chunking. It's a mnemonic technique.
Yeah.
You can use that to memorize all the days of the year and what day of the week they fall on.
Why do you think that's crazy, though? Just because it's a lot of work.
Genuinely, like a really easy way for
Yeah,
you to
I mean,
remember
that
things.
I feel like that's just him being smart. Like, and they're not.
Like when in school,
Well, but
when I ever
like-
had to quote a paragraph, yeah, you write out the first
How
letter
often
of
in
each
school were you
word,
actually taught to do something smart?
True.
Yeah. Okay.
True.
Just teach us how to,
How to do what they,
They didn't
Anyway,
even teach us how to use a checkbook.
So
the
that-
other day.
speaking of that, there is,
Oh God, I derailed. I'm sorry. That was me this time.
Taxes are coming up next.
Don't you guys read on the internet?
No, Jane.
I do.
I don't read.
Like
this
everything
stuff.
I've read, flying up with what you're saying. So like, apparently we're on the same level here.
I'm over here and I'm like, I watch The Real Housewives in my free time.
I mean, no, I don't watch that, but I'll put stuff on, but I'm also on my phone reading the whole time.
I build Gundams.
Yeah.
Been working on those. It's a lot of fun.
I'm in the middle of building a new set of terrain for playing D&D and tabletop RPGs. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I've built it out of oven baked clay, these tiles, and I'm going to make molds and cast them. So I have a stack that I can use.
That makes
Nice,
sense, actually.
nice. Yeah, no, that's
We should
great.
bring that on the show.
Eventually,
cool to show.
I gotta actually finish it.
What are you looking forward to Marvel wise that's upcoming? Like, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff. Like you and I kind of talked earlier.
I mean,
there's
Fantastic Four for sure.
yeah, Thunderbolts for sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that like
I
don't have dates on.
I want Blade to get on track.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially because you said about Marshall LD like possibly dropping out. Like
If they don't get it, he's made noises about
will be
leaving. Yeah.
devastated. if
He's
we
already
lose
said that
him.
this was supposed to be his Black Panther. And
Right.
they keep screwing it over by changing the director.
Well, the directors keep
vision.
leaving.
Well, yeah, because they can't, because the director wants control over what he's making, and then
Marvel doesn't want them to.
as much as I like Kevin, you can tell that man really, really wants to make sure that everything is within his vision, which makes sense because there's a whole cinematic universe. Like you got to make sure that everything's consistent.
Right.
But at the same time,
If you throttle it too much, it winds up not working.
he let the Eternals come out, and there's now a giant hand, half god creature
Right.
reaching out of the
Which
planet,
they don't talk
and they have
about.
yet to talk about it. So
Which I
is
think we
consistency
should
all
talk
that
about.
important unless
Well, and then they also left what's his name with the sword.
Oh, yeah, the Black Knight.
I want him.
Dane.
Where's he? Can we get him, or is we just not getting him?
They
because
may
that
have
movie-
just decided.
And are we not getting Harry Styles? Is Harry Styles?
I was
just
thinking
no
about that
more?
earlier.
I want Harry Styles to be. What was his character?
Was it Star Fox?
Yes.
Yeah. Not the
No.
Nintendo game.
okay.
I think that's actually the character's name.
Star. No.
Wait,
not
hold
Star
on.
Wars.
Okay.
We already have that.
Yeah.
The Starlight
Something
that's Chris
Fox.
Pratt.
Huh?
That's Chris Pratt's character,
Right.
No, yeah, because you remember at the end of Eternals,
right?
He walks in.
He walks in with Puck.
With Puck.
Right. Yeah, and
And then
they're
just-
like in the
They left that open with so many different options of characters, and then we've never seen them again.
I will say, I thought the Eternals had one of the best representations of super speed on film that we've ever seen.
I like the Eternals. I'm just going to be a double
I don't even
advocate.
think-
I loved it.
I like-
I'm sorry,
too,
I
actually.
wasn't trying to come out like
no,
anti-Eternals.
I know you.
It's
are, but
fine.
I feel like
It's fine.
a lot
You're just
of
the odd
people
man
have
out. It's
been
2-on-1.
very-
It's cool.
I feel
What I'm
like
saying
the
is, I
world
was just
is
pointing to the
anti.
consistency. They have yet to point out that there's a giant rock god
Right.
that has died and is now sticking out of the top of the planet.
And then apparently, like you would think that in some of these other movies, this army of clone super people would have shown up again, like in Guardians 3 or something.
Well, and then we never talked about the sky went completely black and a giant face creature came and topped. Like you would think that people would talk about that. It's kind of like Doctor Who, where like things happen and then like no one ever acts like
Yeah.
it never happened again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like,
I mean,
are we just going to act like this is normal now?
If it were the
That's the issue,
Hitchhiker's
though, right?
Guide,
In the Doctor Who, though, they're a completely different story. They're just
if we're the Hitchhiker's Guide, you could just say it's the somebody else's problem field.
I mean, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
In all honesty. I don't know. I just feel like
CNN's like, that didn't happen in the continental US.
they like
so who
just
cares?
left so many open paths with Eternals that we've not gone down. And then they did the whole Werewolf by Night,
oh, that was so good.
which was great. And that brought in oh my god, what was his name? Ted.
Oh, yeah, Man Thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that brought in Man Thing, and that was supposed to be a part of that whole realm.
Also brought
of,
in
like,
Elsa Bloodstone,
Yes,
which...
she's amazing. And it was supposed to be that whole realm, and Blade was supposed to be a part of it with Guy from End of Eternals with the sword. That whole realm was supposed to be a thing, and with Blade not getting off the ground, like Blade not getting off the ground, it's now leaving all of that just out here floating in the
There have been
ether.
all kinds of weird rumors about it. Like, one of the scripts got nixed because Mahershala Ali was like, dude, Blade's not even the main character in this. What are we doing?
I heard about that.
Why is it called Blade if I'm, like, barely in it?
If it's about his daughter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew, no.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, I feel like,
I want to see a dude roundhouse kick vampires in the fangs.
Agreed.
right.
That is what we want. This is simple.
And isn't Moon Knight supposed to wrap into all of them too?
Man, what are they going to do with Moon Knight?
I thought we were supposed to get a season 2. Didn't they greenlight a season 2?
Yeah.
I loved that show.
Yeah.
We still gotta get. There's so many things that they still have to wrap up though. Like so there's Moon Knight. We still have to hear the end of the Eternals. Like whatever happened to them? Are they going to move on with them? We're definitely not getting any more Ant-Man, unfortunately. Like as much as I like Paul Rudd and his story, Quantumania completely like. I enjoyed parts of that movie, but
I just didn't like his daughter.
I thought it was weird that they like completely recast her, aged her up just to.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, it was the time jump.
You say we're not getting more Ant-Man, but
we got to see her
as a person who has not seen the trailer for.
I saw that there's the helmet. Don't get me wrong. I know
it's not a helmet. It's a full body that they're inside of.
Nice. Well, so that's a reference to Old Man Logan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Where you basically go across the battlefield in the comic and you see a giant dead Ant-Man. And I love that story. It's got its issues, don't get me wrong. I feel like the way that is it Bendis? Bendis write that story? It doesn't matter. Whoever wrote that story really screwed up Hulk and his relationship with She-Hulk.
Is that future imperfect Hulk or is that a different Hulk?
Pretty much. So like it's the universe.
It's the Maestro.
Right. It's the universe where they carve off sections of the United States and give them to the different villains. Like Doom owns like the West Coast and Kingpin has like the East Coast, I think.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of cool ideas in it, but yeah, I really like the world building in that story. Like, I completely get why they would bring that into this upcoming movie because that is one of the coolest shots. Like it's a great panel where you just see a giant dead Hank Pym, it is very sad, but I think sad world building is very good.
Yeah. Well, and that's apparently what's her name's lair, Nova, the woman who we can't think of.
Yeah, Nova is ass. It's an S word at the end of it. I can't remember.
That's her lair is inside of him.
That's awesome.
Which is dark and fucked.
Right.
But whatever. I don't know. But like, I feel like there are a lot of things like we were supposed to get Armor Wars this year.
Yeah.
It's now been pushed out. We were supposed to get Ironheart this year. It's now been pushed out. Marvel Zombies doesn't have a date now.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're missing a lot of things.
I feel like the slowdown is going to be beneficial, though.
I agree to them getting things done doing it properly. I just feel like it's going to suck from a Disney Plus show standpoint. I feel like we're not going to get the content there.
So,
which may not be a bad thing, but at the same time, then I feel like it's going to harm Disney Plus's subscribers.
It's already flattened out, so I mean, like whatever's happens, you know.
Yeah.
Well, because if you want Disney Plus, you've got Disney Plus now. You can't grow forever once you hit saturation market as far as people who want your product.
Right. And same thing happened with Xbox's Game Pass. Like the same thing. Like they're saying, there's no growth in that anymore. While that used to be a gravy train.
Yeah.
And, like game developers were basically like chomping at the bit to try to get onto that service when it first launched. And now it's kind of tapered off because no one else new is subscribing to that. So I see the same thing with like Disney Plus, any of the streaming services in general. There's just kind of this critical mass that you're going to hit that it's just kind of the way that business goes, you know, like I don't think not everyone's going to get a Disney Plus subscription. Not everyone's going to, not everyone wants Paramount Plus, like it's just going to be how it goes.
Well, it's what we're going to have eventually and it's already starting to happen. All of these, streamers are going to start bundling together.
Yep.
Eventually we're going to have a super service that offers one subscription. It's going to be cable all over again. And one subscription, you get access to everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But where were we talking about?
Just overall, like upcoming Marvel, what you're looking forward to, what has been a miss, and what's
like. I enjoyed She-Hulk. I thought it was actually straight up like
I loved it until the final episode.
Oh, I thought the Kevin joke was
man, it was so perfect. But yeah,
no, I hated the final episode. I just feel like it wrapped really weird, and like it didn't. I don't know.
I mean, if we're talking about the source material.
Right. So that was. So I remember thinking the same thing. I remember thinking that I was like, okay, we're going into this weird meta thing where she's popping out the Disney Plus tiles and climbing out of my TV. But at the same time, had the show ended with a She-Hulk fighting another Hulk, like every other Marvel movie ends with, I'm fighting the main character is fighting a a mirrored evil version of themselves. It's gotten, and they called that out in the show. And that was my favorite part where they said, we can't do it like this. Are you serious?
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 10 years now, and we're still wrapping up with Iron Man v. Iron Man at the end of the Iron Man movie.
True, and I get that.
And so,
Well, like it's a comedy first. I mean, that's the main thing. Is you have to. So the ending has to be a punchline. So
yeah, but I really did like the Kevin boss.
oh my god, so good, so good. Yeah.
She-Hulk deserves better, though. I will say.
I still haven't watched Echo.
I haven't either. No.
Apparently, it's the most watched show on Disney.
Well, no, and everyone has said it's amazing. I just haven't.
And Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is
always
top tier casting.
Yeah, which I mean, he's supposed to be back in the reboot of Daredevil with everyone.
Looking forward to that, of course, right?
Yes, I'm very looking forward to Daredevil. I really like the Netflix show originally.
I do too.
I think so. Daredevil took what Arrow was trying to do with that first season and perfected it. I think the hallway fight in Daredevil is probably one of the best choreographed fight scenes I've ever seen. Now, and that is because it takes its inspiration from all of those martial arts movies, from from John Woo, from all the other ones in the past,
From the Raid,
from a lot of different. Then you can clearly tell that whoever made Daredevil season 1 loves.
And one thing they did with the fights that you don't see often enough is storytelling with the fight. Like you're seeing, the kind of choices Murdoch makes, and you see him keep going anyway, and it's interesting as opposed to just a punch up, with Matrix style kicks and stuff.
Yeah, you see him adapting during the fight to see how to win the fight.
Yeah.
It's not, while it is predetermined by the writers that he's going to win that fight, you as an audience member don't know how he's going to. And it probably isn't going to end with him just like punching a dude in the face.
So it's problem solving in real time, which is interesting. And it's actually one of the things I liked about the first Iron Man is because it is like you see character development for Tony Stark, but through design. You see his design process, and it's interesting.
I think that's why
iterative
Iron Man 1 did what it did in 2008. People saw they were bringing back they were putting a D-lister on top. Like taking Iron Man and putting him as a household name, because I'm sure y'all remember the big three back before 2008. It was Wolverine, Spider-Man, Hulk. Yeah, those were the big three. It wasn't. No one gave a crap about the Avengers.
Was it Wolverine, Spider-Man, the Hulk, or was it Wolverine, Spider-Man, and the X-Men?
True. However, you got to remember Hugh Jackman took over the place of Wolverine. Brian Reed really put Wolverine at the front of those X-Men films. And so, everyone, you can even go back and look at promotional images where they have 3 superheroes on it: Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine. And, I'm even now, as a big Wolverine fan, I'm like, that's weird seeing that now.
Yeah.
And so, now that that's changed, where Iron Man came in and when someone asks me what's my favorite MCU movie, I have to preface it with Iron Man is always at the top. Iron Man 1 is my favorite MCU movie, but it's its own special little box. It isn't number 1, it's number 0. Number 1 is probably Avengers 2012 or Captain America Winter Soldier. But Iron Man,
it is so funny because those are not mine.
There are so many now that it starts to become what's your favorite Marvel film?
I have
what sense one. For what, right?
Shang-Chi is my favorite movie.
Ooh, that's so good.
Shang-Chi is by far my favorite Marvel movie to date. It was perfect.
Also, some of the best choreography I've ever seen.
I mean, you get Tony Leung just wrecking stuff, which is
and then Michelle Yeoh, which is could we have more of an iconic human being in our world? No.
We're getting a Michelle Yeoh led Star Trek movie. Did you know that?
I'm also behind your call to bring Michelle Yeoh into Star Wars. I back you up. I support you 100%.
You gotta make her a witch. Oh my god!
Exactly.
Or just a Jedi Master on the Council or something. Oh my God,
or we have a weird little furry alien that is on screen for 5 minutes and she does
I want her
voices and that's
her.
That.
I want her doing choreographed fighting.
Who was that one super famous actor that got a tiny little role in Episode 9? She was a masked character and she
did Iago.
No, it wasn't her.
Are you talking about Gwendolyn Christie when she played?
No, she was not.
She's not dead. Is all I'm saying. Captain Phasma's not dead. She's coming back. I swear to God, if we had that one amazing character and we killed her immediately, I'm going to be livid.
Look, I was on the Phasma train in 2000 and 2015 when that movie was coming out. But what has Captain Phasma done since then that makes you like her so much? Besides being Gwendolyn Christie, because everyone loves Gwendolyn Christie.
Well, I just nothing, but I just loved the outlook of the character. Because she was so tall, the shiny silver, a woman. Like, I just felt like that was something we needed, and we just dropped the floor out from underneath her and killed her. And I was like, cool, great, here we go.
That's like my this is the wrong episode talking about Star Wars. I'm not going to talk about Star Wars.
Well, you know,
I just want to say that
digressions happen.
Of the sequels, episode 8 actually is the best. But that's my hot take on the sequels. Is that The Last Jedi was actually the best one of those 3 films.
Last Jedi is my second favorite Star Wars movie after Empire.
That's
That's
a really hot take. If I'm being honest with you, that is awesome.
I love that. I mean, first off, I'm a Rian Johnson fan and was before The Last Jedi. I mean, if you haven't seen Brick or The Brothers Bloom, get on it.
Okay,
watch them.
Did he do Looper? Was he also?
He
Looper?
did do Looper.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Yeah. And of course, the Knives Out movies are both wonderful, and so is Poker Face over on Peacock. If you haven't seen it, with Natasha Lyonne.
I did not know that was in.
Oh, yeah. See, he's got a bunch of stuff directed that you wouldn't expect. I like that he has his own vision and that he's very determined to get that vision out.
Yeah,
clearly he wanted to take episode 8 and go, whatever y'all did in episode 7 wasn't great. I've got an idea. Here's what we're doing.
Well, and like he took a lot of the influences from Star Wars and then re-examined them and brought them back in, like samurai movies are a huge influence on The Last Jedi.
Absolutely.
Holy cow, the scene with Luke doing the force projection thing against Kylo Ren is like lifted from a samurai movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, it's so good. But yeah, like things you can see about the prequels that, you know, like the production values are great. The effects are great. Like the production design's good. The casting is generally pretty good. You know, the dialogue's not great, but that's George Lucas. Right. Like Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford rewrote like more than half their dialogue in the original 3 movies because they had to. Because it didn't make any sense and it was awful. Right? But like the lore, the world building in the prequels is amazing.
I don't know if y'all have ever watched the documentary about episode 4. Have you ever watched like A New Hope had to be taken from the ground up. George shot everything and he had all these, and he had a full movie made. And then basically 2 other guys came back in and re-edited the film into such a way that we have what we have now. And
Marcia was one of them, right?
Do what?
Marcia Lucas. His wife was one of of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Gary Kurtz, the producers, and everyone had a lot of input.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like they came back and they basically like the original like the original version of Star Wars has a lot of Luke hanging out on Tatooine, hanging out with Biggs, and hanging out with they're talking about doing all the races, and they're hanging out, and it's like it's not actually what we wanted to see, George.
Yeah.
And then we got what we actually wanted to see, and it became the cultural phenomenon we have now.
Like none of this stuff is actually important. It doesn't do anything for the storytelling. Just let's skip to the part.
Like I feel like if you put George in the director chair where he gets to world build and he gets to point at people and block them and put them where to go, it's great. And then another guy comes up and says, all right, so now you do your lines like this way and not like how the script says, and then you get a good movie, you know?
And somebody else cuts it together so it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
We also haven't talked about espionage.
No, we haven't. No.
James Bond.
Next episode. Or another episode.
Another episode someday. Or we'll just clip that part out and not worry about it till.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of it. Burn it in a fire.
Well, no, I mean, I would like to because, you know, you could, like we were saying earlier, you can draw a line from not in the movies as they came out, you know, in release order, but chronologically in the world of the MCU. Yeah, you can, there's this whole like espionage tree, right? And like, when the Black Widows and the Russian stuff comes in is kind of separate from what happens in the States with SHIELD, but it's probably could be read as like a response because it's Cold War, right? So they're related and they're aware of each other.
And I feel like I don't know if we're going to, but we don't really see I don't think we really see the end of the Red Room. I know like Black Widow kind of deals with it.
Well, and that's supposedly the end of the Red Room, but I just watched season 2 of What If, and the Red Room apparently didn't die.
No, I can't say.
This is a multiverse, so I mean, like, it could be a different universe where the Red Room didn't get bombed or whatever.
But also, it's like, it's not just real espionage. It's not espionage. It's not real espionage, right? But it's this fictitious espionage that's like, they're almost superhuman in their ability to like anticipate things and make plans.
Yeah, they have their own alternate Captain America serum.
Yeah, so there's almost certainly like a backup Red Room or something, and the Red Room is more a concept in that sense than it is
a people. It's a play, or is it a place? It's a people.
100%. Honestly, I think so. Yeah. I don't think we've seen the end of it. I feel like it'll probably pop back up in the Thunderbolts in some sense.
Oh yeah,
like maybe that's what they're doing. Is they're trying to put a stop to it before it gets booted back up or something.
We can only hope.
And that one's title's gonna change too. You know, they've got the little asterisk next to all of it every time they post about it. So
Thunderbolts, really?
Yeah, Thunderbolts is gonna it'll at least get a subtitle.
Okay.
By the time they're ready to start acting like the movie really does exist.
I am excited to see Harrison Ford play the Red Hulk.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Heroes and Villains podcast, Concept Pending, with our guests.
It's been a wild ride today.
Well, yeah, with Mason and Kirk. Follow us on socials at Heroes Villains Brand. Visit our website, heroesvillains.com, or follow the podcast, Concept Pending, on socials. So, yeah, next time we'll probably have both you guys back for probably more Marvel or, Marvel, DC, whatever.
I'm happy to come back. That'd be great.
Yeah. Star
Trek.
Hey, if we want to do a Trek Central podcast, I'm all about it, man.
They don't call me Kirk for nothing, so.
So, is that your favorite captain, or are we talking like...
I actually really like Picard.
No, I can respect that.
I love Picard, man.
And we're wrapped.
Picard was my favorite. I gotta say, I'm leaning towards Anton.